Hi guys, Georgette here. Welcome in, or maybe I should say welcome back. It has been roughly about 2 years since my last video, and a lot of stuff has changed for me since that time. So let's get into it. Let's chat about where I've been. In the spring of 2023, my husband and I welcomed a healthy, beautiful baby girl into the world, and she has taken over everything. She's taken over our lives, our house, and pretty much all of our free time. And that's where I've been. I've just been doing the mom thing. Now it's been a couple years and she's a little older and a little more independent, and I'm finding myself having a bit more time to be able to sew. And I finally have a place to sew. That was another reason why I wasn't getting any sewing done, is because I didn't have a place to sew. My sewing room previously had been turned into a nursery. So I had to pack up all of my stuff out of that room and move it into the guest room. And initially I was planning to make the guest room my sewing space. It was going to work as a sewing/guest room. However, that room quickly became like a catch-all for all of the items that were displaced because we have baby stuff and she had a lot of baby stuff. So that ended up not working out because it was too much of an obstacle, too much friction for me to be able to get into the room and sew a project. So after that, I kind of set out to find another place in the house to sew. I tried the whole set it up, go get your stuff, set it up on a dining room table, sew, then break it down and put it away. But I was finding by the time I got the stuff out, I set up, figured out where I was in the project, and then still allowed myself enough time to put everything back, it really didn't allow me a whole lot of time to sew. And then I found when I was sewing, when I actually did get in there and get on the machine, I felt rushed and stressed. And that's not why I sew. I don't want to be stressed while I'm sewing. That defeats the purpose of doing it. So anyway, that didn't work. My next try was I found a little corner in my bedroom where I could set up shop. And this was perfect because it's my own little space. I could leave my projects out. I could leave my sewing machine out. So when I did have a little chunk of time, I could just get in there, sew, and get out, and it wouldn't be a problem. And then my daughter started crawling, and as it turns out, our bedroom is her favorite place to play. Still to this day, it's one of her favorite places to play. And I really just couldn't take the thought of her finding like a pin, a random pin or anything, and putting it in her mouth. And even if I would have put up a gate to block off that area, still a pin could find its way outside of that gate. I very quickly nixed that area and decided that's not for me. That's not going to work. And then finally it hit me. Why not set up in my master closet, in the primary bedroom's closet? That has been working like a dream because it fulfills all the needs, right? I can have my stuff set up. I can leave it out. I don't have to pick up anything. And when I'm finished, I can just close the door. Close the door. No one's getting in there if they shouldn't be in there. So that's where I've set up shop. That's where I've been working. Now it's a little bit of an awkward space. The layout itself is a little bit awkward. It's not a very large closet at all. And it also has to serve as my closet, my sewing space, and an office. So it really has to work as 3 separate zones. And eventually I will take you on a tour and show you what that looks like and the process of me taking it from closet to office, sewing space, and closet. And that's it. Those are the reasons why I have not been sewing. Those are the reasons I haven't sewn an outfit for myself since 2023. I think my last garment that I sewed was 2023. I believe it was for the Romp Jump Sew. I'll put it on the screen somewhere. That was the last project that I sewed. I sewed a jumpsuit for that challenge. And since then, 2 years, I have hemmed some pants. I have taken in some side seams for my husband. None of this stuff is for me. It's for other people. I've attached a patch to a uniform That's it. Have not sewn for me. So I'm looking forward to getting back into sewing, especially something for myself. However, even though I haven't been sewing, I bought patterns like my life depended on it. I bought probably 200 patterns, maybe less. Let's say somewhere around 200 patterns is how many I bought. When I heard the news that Joann was filing for bankruptcy, R.I.P. Joann, but when I initially heard that Joann was filing for bankruptcy, I knew that one of two things was going to happen, okay? Either one, they were going to restructure and there would be no more $1.99 sewing patterns, or two, they were going to go out of business and there were going to be no more $1.99 sewing patterns. But either way, there would be no more $1.99 sewing patterns. So I hit every single sale. You guys, I hit every single sale except for the last one. And I tried to hit that sale. I tried my best to get to that sale. I just couldn't make it happen. Every sale I was there going through the drawers one by one to see which patterns I wanted, because I just knew. I knew that those prices, that $1.99 sale price, had come to an end. So I wanted to make sure that I took advantage of it. Every sale. Every sale. Okay. Up until the point where the prices changed, the sale prices changed from $1.99 to $2.99. Once they hit $2.99, I thought, okay, I'm good. I don't need any more patterns. I'm good. I've completed the mission. I've done what I needed to do. And then here comes Hobby Lobby with their 99-cent new look pattern sale. There was no way on this planet that I was going to miss that sale. I didn't care how many patterns I bought from Joann. I wasn't missing the new look sale, especially because at that particular point in time, I think I only had about 3 or 4 new looks in my collection. I just didn't have new look patterns. It wasn't something that I gravitated to. There weren't patterns that I bought. So I headed out to Hobby Lobby once they had their sale, once the sale made it to my Hobby Lobby, because I do remember that it did take a while for it to come to my local Hobby Lobby. And I remember seeing vloggers all over saying how they went and took advantage of the 99-cent sale. And I was continuously calling my stores and neither one of them had implemented the sale yet. However, when they did, I went a few times, and I think I only bought maybe 30 patterns, maybe less than 30 patterns. I didn't get that many at that sale. I really didn't. I was kind of easy about it because I had picked up all the patterns from Joann. So then after that sale, I came home and I said, all right, we're good. I don't need any more patterns. And I was good. I was definitely good until Hobby Lobby decided to clearance out their McCall's patterns for 99 cents. And at this point, it's different because when the clearance sale was announced, Simplicity.com had also filed bankruptcy. So now this sale, this McCall's sale, is hitting a little bit different because I didn't know what was going to happen with the paper patterns. At that point, we had no idea. I was really under the impression that they may go out of business. So I went back to Hobby Lobby and I bought and I bought and I bought. But this time I was buying for a different reason. I obviously was buying for myself because, yeah. But now I'm also buying for my daughter, and I'm buying for her now, and I'm buying for her in the future. And it was especially important for me to collect these patterns, not knowing whether or not we were going to have paper patterns to rely on in the future. So it really was a bit like throwing a dart into the wind because I have no idea what her style is going to be at that point in time. But I do know that I can tweak it. I do have the skills to do some pattern adjustments. And I don't know. And again, I have no idea if she's even going to want to sew at that time. She might not want to sew. So I may have to do the adjustments for her. However, I am thrilled to have my patterns. I love patterns, you guys. I love them. I love them so much. They're like little 6-inch by 9-inch pieces of art. Love my patterns. So I'm thrilled to have them. I know it's about, what did I say? 200? I don't know. It's somewhere around there. It's a lot of patterns. It is. I am not saying that it's not. I'm also not saying that if Hobby Lobby clearances out their simplicity patterns that I won't be there for that. Because I will. So yeah, I bought a lot of patterns. But oddly, I didn't buy that many pieces of fabric. Like I think I may have bought maybe a handful, and that's being generous, a handful of fabric for myself. I know I bought maybe 6 cuts for my daughter when Joanne was clearancing out their pop collection. It was like pop jersey. I did go and buy some fabrics for her because I knew I wanted to make her some outfits eventually, because I haven't done that yet either. But we'll get there. So yeah, I haven't bought a whole lot of patterns. I did buy a lot of patterns. So yes, I haven't bought a whole lot of fabrics or really anything else. I did buy some rulers when Joanne was having their final clearance, their final going out of business sale. I bought some rulers. I bought like a book, not a sewing book. It was like a crochet book for my mom. And a few other bits and pieces, but I really have not done that much buying of other items other than patterns. And those patterns have really helped to keep me sane. Just being able to sit on the floor and flip through my patterns has really helped me feel like I'm creating, even though I wasn't creating. It kind of helped to fill that creative need that I was having at that time. And yeah, I think that wraps it up. That's where I've been. That's what I've been doing. I've kind of just been in the background, watching videos, looking at my patterns, and organizing my new sewing space, which is very exciting. So let's talk about what's coming up. What's coming up? A Vlogvember. I am going to be participating in Vlogvember. I was going to do Vlogtober, but obviously I missed that date. So I'm going to be doing Vlogvember, and in that time, I will be showcasing all of the patterns that I purchased. So it's going to be, 26 days of my giant epic pattern haul. I really wanted to make sure that I ended the pattern haul before Black Friday, just in case you saw something that you liked and you wanted to pick up. I am sure Simplicity.com is going to have a Black Friday sale, and then your favorite stores, your favorite craft stores, maybe Etsy, maybe eBay, they might be having a Black Friday sale as well. And you can take advantage of those sales because Joanne is gone. There are no more $1.99 pattern sales. So that is coming up. Also, we're going to go back to making stuff. I'll be making clothes for me, my daughter, my husband. I have a list of items that I need to make for things around the house. So that'll be good. Those will be good scrap busters. Oh, speaking of scraps, I am implementing a new rule for myself. If the fabric comes out of my stash, no parts of it will go back into my stash. I'm doing my best to sew through that stash, and I don't want to put anything back in. So what's going to happen going forward, what it's going to look like is instead of picking a pattern and then finding the matching fabric, I will be starting with the fabric and finding corresponding patterns. And I say patterns because more than likely it's going to take more than one pattern to use up that entire, yardage of fabric that I have. So that's going to be interesting. And I'll take you guys along the ride with me so you can see how I creatively use up all of this fabric. And then anything that's left over is going to be used as stuffing for a poof. I am going to make a poof, maybe a couple of poofs this year. And I'm going to use that I'm going to use the scraps as a stuffing for the poof. So whether or not the scraps go in the poof or they go in the trash, the whole point is they won't be going back into my fabric stash because I am clearing it out. I may destash some fabrics just to kind of lessen the load. When I was moving from my sewing room into the guest room, I did actually go ahead and I got rid of a few bags of things, but I could probably stand to get rid of a little bit more. So we'll see. We'll see how I feel about destashing the fabrics once I go through them. But other than that, I think that's it. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. If you've made it all the way to the end of the video, thank you for hanging out with me. I've missed you. I'm so happy to be back. I'm so excited to get back into my sewing room. And so it's going to be good. I'm looking forward to it. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye.